tires, guys, I filled them up before you got here and I didn't check it. So, in an electric vehicle, above what's called the critical minimum frequency for the coil, the RegenX generator coils deliver electric power to the battery, and they accelerate the EV. And we have 3 coils and 3 switches. The more power that you deliver to the batteries in an electric vehicle, the more the EV is accelerated. And then when the coils are operated below the critical minimum frequency of operation for the coil, with virtually the same amount of current going to the battery, now we've taken the load current delay out of the equation, and the same coils operating under the same conditions, albeit at a lower frequency, we get negative work being performed or EV regenerative braking. I think that was pretty clear.
Yeah, it's the same. We see the same phenomenon there.
Yeah, if we operated this prototype, those coils in generator mode below at a very low speed, we'd get the same effect.
Yeah, the first demo you gave us was like that too.
Yeah. So that's it. So the bottom line is, and again, the reason for the demonstration is the technology is important, but I think the knowledge, the law of creation of energy, the knowledge that energy can be created, it's always been created in electric generators. Otherwise, you wouldn't have negative work being performed. And it's not because the current all of a sudden hits resistance in a battery, and that's not why electric generators perform negative work. And so now, hopefully, for the world equipped with this new knowledge, number one, that energy can be created. If energy was being created and it can only perform negative work, well, big deal. Essentially 100% of the CO2 and air pollution that's produced during fossil fuel electricity production, 100% of the pollution and CO2 is produced as a result of generator armature reaction. So the negative work, the counter electromagnetic torque. When you eliminate that from the equation, 80%, when you eliminate generator armature reaction from the electricity generation equation, now you can generate electricity while consuming 0 fossil fuels in the electricity generation phase, not the idling phase. You still need a certain amount of energy to bring the system to idle, but once it's placed on load, as you saw, as you confirmed, once it's placed on load, no additional input energy is required to be supplied to the prime mover. And you felt this, the energy that as it goes up, right? So if you're generating, if you have a 1 megawatt or 100 megawatt facility, coal-fired power plant, in order to generate 100 megawatts, you need 100 megawatts of mechanical input power in your drive shaft. That's 100 megawatts worth of pollution. And that 100 megawatt requirement in the drive shaft is due to the generator performing negative work. Now you take that out of the equation, now you need 0 watts in the drive shaft when you're generating 100 megawatts. 0 watts in mechanical input power in order to generate 100 megawatts. Or any amount of electricity generated with fossil fuels or wind turbines or whatever, now requires 0 watts of mechanical input power when the generator is placed on load, because the generators do not produce generator armature reaction. They don't perform negative work. They don't cause the prime mover input to go up, and they don't cause the necessity of the mechanical input power to the generator to go up. End of story. No more global warming. No more too many useless eaters. Got to get rid of Richard and the old guys and the ones that aren't contributing, and just leave the rich guys. That's out the window. So that's where it's going. Thanks.
Anyone else have a question?
Sure.